What's up, everybody? On today's video, I'm going to explain to you what the crap Florida is like. So we're going to go through the cities and explain everything you need to know. Number one, the first thing you need to know is Miami, bro. Miami's a bunch of freaking people who refuse to learn English. Americans are scared to come here because everybody speaks Spanish and they can't even order a dang hamburger without knowing Spanish. Then a bunch of potheads from all over the country come here to get high in Miami Beach. Like if it was legal here, it's not. But of course, the police is too busy giving people parking tickets. How anybody can afford the rents in Miami, I have no idea. People here make a living being a plug or selling fake credit cards they got from their Uncle Carlito. Like, how the crap is this guy in a Ferrari? He's only been here for 2 months and he doesn't know English. Then there's Hialeah. Over 200,000 Cubans live in this Miami suburb. Let me tell you, I'm Cuban and not even I want to be around that many Cuban people. You can rent a garage here that's been converted into an efficiency for like $5,000 a month. Oh, mijo, I no speak any English. Every square inch of this city has been converted into an efficiency. And if you don't know what an efficiency is, just put a for rent sign in your laundry room. The people of Hialeah have devised ways to support their economy, including every type of fraudulent activity on the face of the earth. If you've ever had a boat or a horse stolen anywhere in Florida, 99.9% chance it ended up in Hialeah. Broward County, the land of Kodak Black. You ever turn on the news in Florida and hear about a rapper getting stabbed, shot, or killed, or whatever the crap happens to rappers these days, robbed, and having their gold teeth snatched out of their mouth? All that happened in Broward County. You bring them to Florida, you put them in a nice suburban neighborhood, and next thing you know, they join a street gang. Bunch of thankless piece of crap juvenile delinquents. They could be out fishing, catching iguanas. No, they're joining a street gang and making rap music videos with Kodak Black talking about my hood life in Broward County. Then you got these hairy Middle Eastern people with tank tops showing all their chest hair, driving around in slingshots, sitting outside coffee shops all day talking on the phone in some other language you can't understand very loudly. You decide to leave because the guy smells so bad and you can't stand the smell anymore. You get in your car and somebody jumps at you in traffic, pretends like you ran them over, lays on the ground, flaps around like a tilapia, and calls 401 pain before you get out of your vehicle to see what the crap happened. Then you got Palm Beach County. This is where Donald Trump lives, a few blocks away from the hood. Let me just tell you, I don't know what makes this neighborhood presidential because Donald Trump lives in the hood. Dog, between West Palm Beach and Lake Worth, you run up to the Starbucks in the morning and in front of you are the Island Boys and behind you it's Donald Trump and you're just like, how the crap did all these weird people end up in the same place at the same time? Palm Beach County, where rich people have to walk over homeless people to get their coffee in the morning. So if you want to retire in Florida in a very affluent community that just happens to be next to a very poor and dangerous community, Palm Beach is a place for you. Naples, Florida. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be exploited by rich old snobs from Massachusetts? Consider living in Naples. Have you ever wanted to get road raged by a 55-year-old woman from Connecticut? Would you like to live in a gated community surrounded by golf courses, alligators, and a bunch of old people who became wealthy by doing embezzlement? Or perhaps you're a hardworking Latino who would like to have encounters needlessly with the police on a daily basis. Have you considered starting a landscaping company in the most humid place on earth, or driving a dump truck in some of the worst traffic imaginable? Would you like to wait 2 hours in line before you get a meal in a restaurant because there's so many New Yorkers in town? Would you like to have the cops call on you because you're not rich or white? Would you like to spend 2 hours of your day arguing with a contractor who's trying to screw you over? Or wake up at 7 in the morning to the sound of leaf blowers and chainsaws? Would you like to pay $4,000 a month for a 2-bedroom condo? Fort Myers, Florida, known locally as FOMADO. When was the last time you were headbutted by a homeless person? When was the last time your town got hit by 2 tornadoes and a hurricane in the same year? If you want to live in a complete apocalypse landscape, consider moving to Fort Myers after a hurricane. Have you ever wanted your car to just float away into the Gulf of Mexico and never be seen again? Have you considered being on an episode of Cops but just weren't living in the right city? Fort Myers might be the place for you. You ever had a homeless person show you his strong pimp hand? Have you ever had to prove to a mentally unstable person that you're also mentally unstable? Have you ever woke up in the morning and found an iguana in your house and wondered how the crap did it get there? Would you like to pay $800 a month in car insurance because your neighborhood's full of nothing but fraudulent piece of craps? Have you ever woke up to the sound of a dump truck lid slamming in an empty lot that was an empty lot the day before, but now it's been clear and they're building a house and you didn't even know they were building a house, but you woke up because the dump truck lid slammed because they're already filling in the lot next door? Then when you go outside to see what all the commotion is about, you find 4 trucks parked on your lawn and 2 Hondurans drinking beer on your patio. Then a bunch of ATVs drive by and you see your ex-girlfriend in the back flicking you off. Then when you start running after her, you trip on a gopher tortoise and land on a cottonmouth snake that's being eaten by a boa constrictor, that's in turn being eaten by a python, that's being bitten by an alligator, that's been bitten by an alligator snapping turtle, all that on your front lawn. And as you scream your head off in fear, you startle a caracara eagle, which also goes on to attack you. Then you step on a fire ant hill, so you run in the water to get the fire ants off, but then you find that there's a 14-foot alligator that wants to eat you as well. But then one of your redneck friends jumps into the lake with an ATV on snorkels and pulls you out just as a massive sinkhole opens up to swallow all the animals, Hondurans, construction site, dump trucks, and your house, never to be seen again. Then Sheriff Marcino comes out of nowhere, grabs you, takes you to the Marcino Motel where you get to meet your assigned husband. Then a guy who was there from out-of-state warrant stabs the guy in the back with a needle and says, "You're mine now." Look, just don't move to Fort Myers. You're going to be way over your head. Cape Coral, also known as Cape Coma. Do you like to argue with Karens on a daily basis? Have you considered living in a neighborhood with nothing but the stupidest people from New York imaginable? It's like if you grabbed all of the dumbest people from New York and put them all in one town for the safety of humanity, and then you're stuck in this town with a bunch of freaking dumb, stupid New Yorkers who are all scammed by their realtors, who are in turn also scammed by their builders, who are also scammed by the county, who are scammed by everybody that ever crossed their paths because they're just the dumbest people on earth. Would you like to have the county tell you when you can fart, breathe, or sneeze, and how many permits you'll need in the process? Do you still want to pay high property taxes even though you live in a place where absolutely nothing gets done? Would you like to live in a city with the largest canal system in the world even though they don't have a single beach? Would you like to deal with teenage delinquency even though you live in a not very bad neighborhood but they're still there for some reason? Venice, Florida. Do you like the smell of dead rotting fish and ocean bacteria that suffocates the life out of you? Do you like to see pelicans suffocate in agony? Do you need to live within 100 furniture stores in a 5-mile radius? Do you like to ensure that you have 15 Italian restaurants that will all give you diarrhea nearby? Would you like to live around angry old people that are retiring from New Hampshire? Do you want to deal with the daily antics of the children of powerful politicians who dump their children off in this town to be a menace to society in a place where they probably have enough political ties to where if their kids get in trouble, they can pull some strings and get them out of jail? Would you like to check underneath your car for turtles every time you leave your driveway? Orlando, Florida. Imagine living in a place that had 1 million Puerto Ricans, endless traffic jams, 70 million tourists, and a stupid mouse on top of that. Have you ever spent 6 hours on one piece of interstate? Just sat there for 6 freaking hours? Oh yeah, it's a dream to live here. Yeah, I'm fine, don't worry. Would you like your children to become the most spoiled brats on the face of the earth and your wife to leave you for one of those Puerto Rican guys in a Honda Civics? Have you considered spending 3 times your income on entertainment? Have you considered interacting with some of the most angry and vicious people on the face of the earth? Have you ever been road raged by somebody but not road raging them back because of how scary they look? Have you ever had a Puerto Rican steal your girlfriend from you at knife point and you just gotta sit there and take it because, well, he's got a knife? What are you supposed to do? He's got a knife. Have you ever lived in a town where you've liked to wonder how your neighbors have 5 cars, a 4-bedroom house when they wake up at 1 in the afternoon, hop in their Honda Civic, go to Starbucks, come back 20 minutes later, and you're just sitting there like, how do you afford this? You don't even have a job. Then he offers you wholesale bricks, and you find out how he can afford it. Then you find out it's the same guy who stole your girlfriend. Then you decide you've had enough, you're not going to take it anymore. You decide to fight back to get your girl back, only to be assaulted and choked out by him and her in a parking lot. The Villages, Florida. This is where old people who are perverted from other states gather to swing amongst each other until they die from an STD or an attack of gonorrhea. If your parents move to the Villages or your grandparents, don't even bother visiting them again, because if you go to their house, they're probably going to be walking around naked, and you're going to find out more things about their life that you would ever want to know. Life for these elderly people on their last leg revolves around explicit activities that are too graphic for me to explain to you on YouTube. Golfing, riding around in golf carts, and attacking each other with golf clubs. Then there's also a Facebook group about bad drivers. Seems like the young people here have even less to do with their time than the old ones. Ocala, Florida. Have you ever walked into a restaurant and wondered if an old person crapped themselves or if a horse did? The overdose rate among horses out here is unbelievable. Have you ever wondered what happened to your high school teacher who was on crack? She currently lives in Ocala, tending horses and running an undercover mushroom operation. The type of place where Willie Nelson will have a secret hangout spot. One day you're going to wake up and John Travolta has flown an airplane into your house. That or a sinkhole, one of the two. Citrus County. This is pretty much just drugs, old people, rednecks, tractors, overdoses, needles, hipster cafes, and they finally got their first Starbucks. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a homeless person hanging outside begging for money or whatnot. Have you ever wanted to move to a place so depressing that even you would consider just throwing your life away and stabbing yourself with a needle? Citrus County. It's happening to thousands of people there. No malls, no shopping, no entertainment, no things to do, not too many restaurants, just houses, pine needles, gopher tortoises, and needles. I wouldn't even be afraid of getting eaten by an alligator out here. I would be afraid of getting eaten by a giant bass. Jacksonville, the Duval, baby. Would you like to live in the most dangerous, crackhead-infested place on earth? Are you a rapper looking to get shot during a live stream? Would you like all your close associates to die from gang violence? Do you have absolutely no fear or respect for your life when you get outside of a gas station? Jacksonville, Florida might be the place for you. Have you ever had somebody come up to you and say, "Come on, man, give me my dollar, man. Come on, man, give me my dollar, man. Come on, man." Have you ever had random people film a rap music video in your front yard and you be too afraid to tell them to get off your lawn because they're carrying full-size dang machine guns? Yeah, that's Jacksonville for you. These aren't Coolios, these are Julio Fulios. Total different level of savagery. But if you are going to move to Jacksonville, check out the Moncrief area. It'll really convince you that this is a city you want to end up in. The Everglades, the river of grass. Basically, if you ever try fishing or doing any recreational activity out here, just expect to have Florida Wildlife Conservation pull you over, ask you for a fishing license, and then search your vehicle for 45 minutes to find nothing. Don't go within 4 feet of the water unless you want to be eaten by an alligator. Sebring, Florida. For old people who can't afford the rest of Florida, you walk into a restroom and there's a line of old guys who haven't been able to zip their pants right and they're waiting for somebody to help them finish using the bathroom. There's just so many old people here and not enough people to take care of them. So if you ever walk into a restaurant in Sebring, don't go to the bathroom. There's a line of old people just waiting for you to assist them. Tallahassee. Thousands of cockroaches, stupid students on all types of crap, stupid people that are just angry at the world. They're college kids and just more cockroaches and more college students and more cockroaches and homeless people and Starbucks and Target and apartments and more homeless people and more cockroaches and more college students and no beaches. The Florida Panhandle, a bunch of squatted trucks. I mean, you're practically in Alabama. You got like squatted trucks, rims, clear beaches, rednecks fighting, empty beer bottles, just more rednecks, more squatted trucks, just rebel flags, like just people from Oklahoma on vacation, like speaker boxes and more rims and more speaker boxes and loud sound systems and more rednecks fighting and like people from Alabama and like a guy from Texas who's got warrants in his state, but he still has a pretty cool truck, so he just decided to ride down the beach one last time before he gets caught up on those. And like just more rednecks and like more rebel flags and then like sound systems and like more squatted trucks and then like more people from Oklahoma.